Borges. I'm a content creator and journalist. So I'm just gonna go into the question. Okay. So what can we do to make creative spaces and social media platforms, companies that are doing social media work more inclusive for marginalized communities, LGBT communities, women, people of color, and stuff like that? I think the best and easiest thing is to amplify these voices. I think that obviously there should be a stage where hiring of Dalit writers or Dalit producers, Dalit content creators, people from the LGBT communities, people from marginalized communities and stuff like that should happen. I do not think they should be token hires to fill some kind of diversity quota, so to say. I think that someone from these communities should be hired because they're just a good writer or a good producer and stuff like that. That being said, that the first step is to hire more of these people in newsrooms, in organizations, in think tanks, in content creation hubs, and I see that happening slowly, but in a very small percentage. Like it's very, very slow rising. I think that would be the first step to do. I think when you have a large following on social media as an independent creator, the best thing you can be doing is obviously talking about issues that plague these communities a lot, but also amplifying the actual voices of these community. Doing a report about the artist or something like that is fantastic, but the best thing you can be doing is kind of just sharing the artwork with obvious credit to those artists on your platform, so that if you have X number of followers, then that person gets that traction from those X number of followers. I see that happening a little bit, although I must admit what happens in social media is you're part of your bubble. So I follow a lot of creators who are from marginalized communities, from LGBT communities. I follow a lot of women creators and stuff like that. But me sharing their stuff, I feel it reverberates in that bubble. So if more and more people start doing it, I think there won't be a need for a more popular creator to start sharing these works, because that person will already be a popular creator. In terms of affirmative action for these communities, say the LGBT community in specific, it's very simple. It's not even rocket science. It's just educate yourself and amplify those voices, and that's the best thing you can be doing as an ally. I think that kind of putting yourself in that place doesn't work, because you are not in that space. You are not that identity. So I think in terms of the LGBT cis hetero people should educate themselves about why these people are creating the work that they do. They're talking about the things that they do, and amplify those voices. I think that's the best use of you being an ally. I think TikTok, so the recent ban on TikTok as one of the 59 apps, Chinese apps that were banned by the government of India. I think TikTok in particular is a hit because it was a platform for a large community of people that never had a platform before. And it's very easy for a lot of people to say, just join Instagram or join YouTube or join Facebook, Twitter, or whatever it is. But those platforms were never built for these people. They were never built to facilitate growth and the talent of these people, because it was always elite. All of these social media platforms, when the internet boomed, had a tinge of elitism. And I think that TikTok was the one platform where it was the wild west. You just had to be talented, you just had to be creative, you had to be hardworking, and that was it. And believe me, I think there are way more talented people on TikTok than the platform is given credit for. I also think that I tweeted recently saying that I can't wait for all the TikTokers who were fantastic on that platform to join Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. And I think I was addressing the creators that already had large followings on TikTok, which then obviously translated to Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. But for the smaller creators who only stuck to that medium, it's going to be really difficult. It pains me. Like, I don't know what I would do if like Instagram or Twitter or a platform where I have a significant following suddenly disappears. For a lot of people, it's their livelihood. It's a place where their creative genius translated into income for families that didn't see that kind of money before. So I think it's really sad. I mean, I'm not going to make any kind of political stance here where I say that the banning of TikTok or these apps was good, bad, whatever it is. It is what it is. I'm just saying, like, I can feel for those people who probably lost a large chunk of, a space that they've been building for years. That being said, I'm really excited to see the content that we'll be making on the other platforms. I think that talent is what talent is. I think that talent will never go away. So I think that we're going to see some really fun stuff from them. And I hope that I can figure out a way to kind of push those platforms and amplify them. And I hope that you guys do too. Hindustan and Unilever removing Fair from Fair and Lovely, and by the time this video was filmed, it's now Glow and Lovely. I tweeted about it. I think it was a very fairly performative act, because I think that the product is still going to be focused on being a better you, or being a more beautiful you, or being just, it's just this classism in terms of like white people or fairer skin is better, and it's something that we've been told for generations. It's just ingrained in Indian society. So I think that no, removing the word fair or changing it to something else does not make you does not make you more progressive. It does not make you more forward thinking. I think it's, unless the idea behind the product is corrected, I do not think that it's a great step. I think it's very performative, in my opinion. That being said, I do think that these products, at least they're scared. Like, Fair and Lovely is a giant. I don't think that anything, like, I've made a video on Fair and Lovely before. It racked up a couple of million views, but it wouldn't do a dent to the company, right? It's because it's a behemoth. It's so towering that they're getting scared because of stuff like Black Lives Matter, and they're getting scared because more and more people using social media are calling them out and saying that this is not done and stuff like that. They weren't getting sad, or they weren't getting scared because their ad sales were going down. I'm sure their ad sales were as strong as ever. But now, for someone to be associated with that brand, it's a liability. So I think that that's a good thing. I think that people should start calling out these brands a little more, so that they can, correct the behavior of their predecessors. I'm sure there are a lot of people in the company right now, young people, who do not have that mindset. But it's difficult to take down big money. So yeah, I think it's still a win, but it's not a good, like, it's just performative in my opinion. It's a small, very minuscule corrective step. So yeah, the conversation of roast videos, whether it be YouTube versus TikTok or right wing versus left wing or whatever it is. I mean, I think it's a cool format in terms of like, if you're getting equal representation from TikTokers and YouTubers and left wingers and right wingers and whatever it is. But I think the idea of using social media to hate on either someone else's content or someone else's platform where they create the content, it doesn't make sense to me, because I feel like I tweet a lot of things and then I screenshot, put it on Instagram, but that doesn't mean I like either or better. I think the Twitter is quite, it's mind-numbing, and it makes me very anxious and stuff like that, because there's a lot of hate on it. But personally, I see just as much hate on Instagram sometimes. So it really depends. Like, I don't think it's a very good atmosphere to have, hate spewing about different platforms or different ideologies in terms of if you don't have the perspective of the other, side. That being said, of course, I do have a lot of political opinions and stuff like that, and talk about a lot of things online. It's a difference when you're talking about something that's bigger than you are. It's not cool if you're like, you have like 1 million followers or 2 million followers and you're talking down to kids who have like 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers just trying to create content. To say that stuff is like cringe content and all, I don't agree with. I think that embrace, like, everyone has cringe content. Cringe content to one person is genius to another. So I think it's fine. Just do what you have to do. Make your content the way you want to make it, and just try and block out the people that create this negative atmosphere. So, I mean, I think that there are a lot of young people, more and more young people accessing these apps like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it be. And I think that one thing that I don't think anyone was prepared for was the amount of trolling and hate you get on the internet just for being you, right? I'm not even talking about you in the general sense of like your gender identity or your marginalized group you come from, or which city you live in, or the level of education you have. Those are systemic and huge issues. I'm talking about just for saying like you like a particular TV show or you like a particular book. The intense amount of hate you get from people just for voicing your very nonchalant opinion about something is staggering. And I think that a lot of kids who are joining the platform these days possibly don't know how to deal with that. I didn't know when I joined all these platforms. I still don't know. I have vast amounts of anxiety if I put out either an opinion that matters or doesn't matter. Like, I feel like all my opinions don't matter, to be very honest. But if I make an opinion about a significant thing that's happening either in the country or my industry or something like that, I tend to kind of do one of two things. I either shut off my phone and do not look at anything, or I go the exact opposite and just read every comment. And let me tell you, both of those are very unhealthy. It's very easy to say don't register the hate, don't listen to the hate comments, but it's not easy to do, right? If someone is constantly telling you that you're wrong, it's gonna affect you. And I think the best thing for me is kind of going to therapy and realizing that therapy doesn't mean only talking about my actual life, like my relationships with my parents or my partner or my friends or my work or stuff like that. I've opened the door in therapy to talk about everything in my life, including the internet, including the random amount of hate I get, or including like the systematic hate that I get. And it's a little more, I suppose, for me because I'm a fairly public figure, but I know kids who are bullied by people in their school, and you know it's a very dark time to be on the internet for people who are fairly outspoken. And honestly, I don't know what answer to give you. I do think that you should talk about it to your friends and family for sure. And I do think that if you are going to therapy, you should be going to therapy. Everyone should be going to therapy. You should talk about it there also, because I think our limitation of understanding how and when and what to talk about in terms of mental health is very flawed, because we feel like only certain things are acceptable to talk about. But me personally, if it's on my mind, I feel like I should talk about it. To me, I think that's a very ridiculous response to, you know, a worldwide movement of a systemic harassment that penetrated all spheres of, you know, jobs and working and daily life for women. Again, you shouldn't be asking me this question because I am a man. You should talk to women about this question. But I will say, as a man, it is ridiculous to me that a lot of people don't understand the difference between harassment, making someone feel uncomfortable, and, you know, taking it one step further. Like, I feel like then your parents aren't teaching you how to respect. I'm not even talking about respect women, or respect general people. And I have a very easy solution to this. If you're worried about, like, you know, men, like the men in the offices are worried about, like, you know, if we hire more women and stuff like that, just hire more women and stop hiring more men. Keep the average of the people in the office, the gender average, a little more skewed towards women, because I mean, that's a very, very organically your problem will kind of curb it out. I'm happy that men are confused and shit like that. Just don't do anything then. Just by your logic, just stay away. So in terms of like trying to figure out how to hold meetings and have dinners with like female colleagues and stuff like that, because they think it'll be misinterpreted and stuff like that, women are not out there to, like, you know, entrap you. Like, they are not sitting and thinking, how can I make this guy's day worse? Okay, so I would say, again, as a man, I would say listen to what women are saying, read up more about what is happening in the world and educate yourself, as well as stop trying to put yourself in a space where you're like, but I didn't mean to do that, and I didn't, I didn't expect you to react that way, and it was very innocent, I just wanted to do this. For me, the best thing that has come out of, kind of unlearning a lot of patriarchal norms in my head is analyzing my behavior and understanding things I might have done inadvertently to make someone feel uncomfortable, or not heard, or kind of showed a bias against, or something like that. And I think that once you introspect and kind of analyze your own behavior and feelings, as well as listening to the women that are out there, I think the difference in your head between general normal functioning and harassment becomes very, very clear. So yeah, that was me. I hope I've imparted something that you can take away from this. Thank you so much. I'm open to, if you have any queries about this, if you have any questions about how I function, how I think on the internet, you can DM me on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. Thanks so much.